Hello, maybe you have wondering what Medicaid waivers are and want to check them out. Welcome to the Arc of Virginia's very quick introduction to Medicaid waiver programs for people with developmental disabilities. The Arc of Virginia is a state chapter of the Arc of the United States, the nation's oldest and largest organization of and for people with developmental disabilities and their families. The ARC's mission is to promote and protect the human rights of people with or at risk of developmental disabilities and actively support their full inclusion and participation in the community throughout their lifetime. We will touch on the what and the why of Medicaid waivers, the Commonwealth Coordinated Care Plus waiver, the Developmental Disability waiver, waiver services, eligibility criteria, and more information about waivers and help. A Medicaid waiver is a system of support for people with disabilities of all ages with long-term care needs so that they can live in the community rather than an institution such as a nursing facility or a hospital-like environment. Waivers have a menu of numerous services and supports that are wide-ranging, including personal care, respite, residential, supported employment, skill-building services, and much, much more. Waivers are the only public funding for long-term disability supports. So when a child leaves the school system, if they don't already have a waiver, then there are no other publicly funded services that you or your child is automatically entitled to. There are two Medicaid waiver programs that are typically used by people with disabilities. They are the Developmental Disability Waiver and the Commonwealth Coordinated Care Plus waiver programs. Let's compare these two waivers. For the DD waiver, you must have a developmental diagnosis, or if it's a very young child, if they have conditions that put them at risk for a developmental disability, they may be eligible. The DD waiver is a comprehensive waiver with 32 services that includes the widest range of services and supports for home, community, medical, work, with skill building services, and much, much more. It has a large needs-based waiting list. It is operated by the local community services boards. The CCC Plus waiver, you must have a disability diagnosis. Note, I didn't say a developmental diagnosis, and a medical need. It has fewer services. It has 9 services for home care, nursing, community. It has more than that, but it does not have the work, residential, or skill building types of services. There are no waiting lists for this service, and it's operated by the local Department of Health and Social Services. To be eligible for a Medicaid waiver, there are 3 criteria that must be met: diagnostic criteria, functional criteria, and financial criteria. So we will look first at the DD waiver diagnostic criteria. A developmental disability is a chronic disability that occurs before the age of 22. Some of the very common DD disability diagnoses are cerebral palsy, autism, intellectual disability, epilepsy, brain injury. It must be caused by a condition other than mental illness. The person may have a mental illness, but they must have another disability that's considered a developmental disability. The person probably needs or is likely to need lifelong or extended planned services, and they have substantial limitations in 3 or more areas of life activity compared to a person without a disability of a similar age. For the CCC Plus diagnostic criteria, you must have a disability of any age or be 65 years of age or older. Again, mental illness does not qualify as a disability. You must meet nursing facility criteria, and you must have a medical or nursing need. You have to meet functional criteria. So let's look at the functional criteria for the DD waiver. A person's functional needs are assessed by determining the level of help or assistance, whether it comes from another person, whether it comes from some sort of mechanical or technology. In the DD waiver, a person is assessed in 8 different areas, including health, personal care, motor skills, behavior, communication, task learning, community living skills, and self-direction. They must also be at risk of an intermediate care facility placement for people with intellectual disability. While people are assessed in all of those 8 areas, they do not have to have substantial limitations in all of those areas. In the CCC Plus waiver, a person is assessed for their needs in the areas of medication administration, activities of daily living, that's bathing, eating, mobility, behavior and orientation, joint motion, and the person must be at risk of nursing facility placement. The financial criteria is the third criteria that's assessed, and it's the same for the DD and the CCC Plus waivers. Many people think that to have a Medicaid waiver, parent or family income is considered. Parent and family income never counts. There is no resource limit for children, but once a person with a waiver is 18 years of age or older, there are resource limits. The income limit per month is $2,349 per month. That's for the year 2020. And there's a $2,000 resource limit. The ARC of Virginia encourages individuals and families to learn more about the waiver services and the screening processes before requesting a screening for the CCC Plus and or the DD waiver programs. There's lots to know. If you need more help, need more information, please check out our website on the ARC of Virginia. Also, feel free to contact the ARC of Virginia for individual consultation or training. Email info@thearcofva.org or give us a call, 804-649-8481, extension 104. I hope this has been helpful and you've learned some new information. Thank you.